Welcome to the August Back to School edition of Texarkana Magazine. We are focusing on the unity and educational excellence in our community from the perspectives of the superintendents from Texarkana Arkansas School District, Texarkana Independent School District, Liberty Ilo, and Pleasant Grove. This is Dr. Becky Kesler from the Texarkana Arkansas School District. Well, let's start with, where did you grow up and what was the school like in your hometown?
I grew up in a very small town, Nevada, Texas, about a couple hours from Texarkana. 39 students in my graduating class. It was actually a consolidated school district. And so everyone knew everybody. We were all in each other's business, but it was great. I loved it.
Very small, 39.
Yes.
Really
and I was
small.
top of the class, so there you go.
Of course you were. What is your favorite school memory?
I just love school. I grew up, I have two sisters, and we grew up playing school all the time. And so I loved everything about going to school. I loved high school because with only 39 in our class, we had to be involved in everything. Probably in high school, I was in student council, drama, band. My favorite high school memories were about band. We had a very small band, but we were known as the biggest little band in Texas because you had to play every instrument. I played flute, I played sax, I played bells. We're always in competitions, and we went to San Antonio, played the state fair, but we were just phenomenal because we had to be. We had to play extra, for every opportunity. So that was probably my best memory, was being in band.
You had to be like a family.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we all just grew up together. Because being a small town like that, we all went to church together. We were always, like I said, we were always in each other's business all the time.
For good or bad, right?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me about the path to your current role as superintendent.
I started out as a high school home economics teacher, if you can believe that. I said I didn't like to cook or sew, but somehow I ended up as a home economics teacher. And then I became an elementary teacher. And that was all before I moved to Texarkana. And then once we moved to Texarkana, I actually became an assistant high school principal at Pleasant Grove. And from there, I became elementary principal at Union. Okay. And I went on to become an assistant superintendent, and I stayed there for 7 years and then moved into the superintendency for 9 years. So believe it or not, I've been in education 34 years. When I counted that up today, I could not believe it, 34 years in education.
34 years. Congratulations.
Yeah. Well, thanks.
What are you excited about for this new year?
We have so much going on in TASD. It's hard to believe because we just recently built our new middle school north of the interstate, Arkansas Middle School. Okay. So with that, we are adding our 6th grade this coming school year because this last year we only moved 7th and 8th grade out there.
Okay.
So now in the fall, 6th graders will join them. So that left College Hill Middle empty. So now we're making that College Hill Harmony. And so that will be our music school. And it's going to be leadership and music. So every student that goes out there will get a music instrument to play. And so we're very excited. We expect about 400 students to be over there. And so our junior high that was North Heights, that's going to be known as the Heights next year. That's a micro society school. And it's also our accelerated school. So every student over there will work a grade level ahead. Our gifted and talented program will be over there. And we'll have about 200 students on that campus next year. And of course, we'll still have our other 3 elementary schools.
Explain to me the micro-society school.
A micro-society is they will actually have their own little society within the school. They'll have their own mayor. They'll have their own city council. They'll have it's actually a society within the school. So it's a really neat concept. Samantha Coleman will be our principal over there. And it's just a really neat concept. The parents are really excited. They're excited about the accelerated curriculum over there. So it's the same thing with the Harmony. I mean, we've just really got a lot of exciting things within the district.
You do, and with that Harmony school, I bet that's close to your heart.
Oh, absolutely, with the music.
Yes. That thrills you to see kids.
And our principal over there, Brian Mitchell, he was actually a band student growing up, and so he is so excited. He's been practicing his trumpet all summer long so he can play that for the kids when they show up first day of school.
And this is the first year of
Yes,
Harmony
first year
school?
for both of us, yes.
Wow, there are a lot of big things happening.
Yeah.
Describe the unique culture of your district.
Well, we pride ourselves in the family atmosphere that we have at TASD. And one of the things I was so proud of our staff this last year, they really took ownership with our students because so many of our students, chose to stay virtual instead of coming back to school. And so our teachers, they would actually make home visits. And if we felt like we were losing a student or we lost touch with them, they would go out and make sure that they had food taken to them. They would take computers out to them or hotspots. And they really embraced that family mentality. And I was just so proud of the fact that we tried to not let anyone fall through the cracks. We were always just making sure that the parents were taken care of, the students were taken care of, and the staff was always right there to hold each other up. If someone was sick, they watched out from a very collaborative atmosphere. And so I think that is a true culture of, our community and our district.
Absolutely. Well, and doing home visits, that's above and beyond.
Yeah, it really is. They didn't think anything about it. Going out at night, knocking on a door, trying to track down a student, because some would answer the phone, some wouldn't. But, when a teacher knocks on the door and the parent answers, and there's the teacher standing there saying, we need to see, your son because he hasn't logged on in a certain number of days. And the parent, of course, their face is like, why haven't you been doing your homework? Or why haven't you been getting online? Because the parent's been at work. It's, it's eye-opening for the parents.
How do you ensure that your district maintains facilities that keep up with current technology and evolving needs of 21st century students?
Well, we've been very fortunate because we have a magnet grant for the last several years. So technology really hasn't been an issue for us because we've had several millions of dollars spent with smart boards, smart TVs, computers, iPads for, even our kindergartners on up. And so we have one-to-one technology. The students have all the technology they need. We actually are overflowing with technology in the district.
That's fantastic. Well, did COVID affect funding due to low attendance, or were there any grants or additional funds given to aid through the pandemic?
Yes, it's sad to say, but COVID has really brought a lot of money into the district because we started out with $1.4 million, and we spent most of that on the PPE, the mask and sanitizers, things like that. And then we received a little over $8 million that we were able to use. We bought some buses with that, did some enhancements to the building. And then now we just recently found out that we're getting $18 million.
That's incredible.
Yeah, we're using that to upgrade our HVAC systems. We're actually increasing our space for some of the buildings. That is a lot of money to spend. It's hard to spend that much money in just a couple of years, but we've got our principals involved. We're involving our parents on how they would like for us to spend that money. So it's really a group effort in trying to spend that type of money.
And what do you see as the greatest challenge moving into the new school year, and how do you plan to work towards a positive year?
Well, we tried to make this last year really positive, and so we plan to move forward. The greatest challenge is the unknown. We just don't know what to expect. We really don't even know if all of our students will be coming back. They gradually came back this year, and by the end of the year, we had probably 90% of our students back full-time, face-to-face. But we know there's still that uncertainty. There's still parents not sure if they want to send them back full-time. So, every time I turn on the TV, you hear that, there's a different variant coming out. And so I know that parents have the same fears that I have. So just that fear of the unknown. So we're trying to make sure the parents know we're doing everything in our power to keep the building safe, adding those extra measures in place to make sure the kids are protected. So please, we want them face-to-face if at all possible.
What do you hope the school experience will be like in 5, 10, or 20 years?
There's nothing that takes the place of a face-to-face teacher. And so, the students would probably say they want to go virtual and, have all the online learning, but nothing takes the place of a face-to-face teacher. So I hope in 20 years we still have classrooms like we have now with great teachers in place. And, there's always a place for online learning, but I'm still old school, and I still hope we have face-to-face teaching going on.
Absolutely, because the home visits, that wouldn't happen without
that relationship is so critical, and nothing will take the place of a relationship between a teacher and a student, and them really embracing what's going on in the classroom.
Well, if you could tell your students anything, what would it be?
I would tell them that everything is about choice. Be careful in the choices you make, and always think through before you make a choice, whether it's the friends you hang out with, whether or not, you're going to drink, or whether or not you're going to do drugs or smoke. Everything's a choice, so just be very careful in those decisions.
With the challenges of the past school year behind us, and with the talented leadership moving us forward, we have high expectations of an extraordinary year ahead.